Katie here from the Scrappy Sisters, and I am up today with a 12 by 12 process video. And I am using these two photos of my partner holding our son, and this was maybe 2 hours after he was born, maybe 3. It was actually before we found out the condition that he was born with, and we'd just gone to special care nursery, and my partner was having a cuddle. Super cute photos. I am also using the Cocoa Vanilla, is it You Rock collection? Boys Rule collection. And I picked out this pattern paper to use as a background, which I don't do as often, although I'm doing it much more often now, but I never used to. I was very much a white cardstock girl. And I decided to tone it down a little bit where I'm going to put the photo just with some gesso. So I'm actually just using a makeup sponge, which is quite a dirty makeup sponge because I've been using it for a while for gesso. So it's not probably sponging as cleanly as I would like, but that's okay. But when it dries, actually you can't see it as much as I would have thought. So I probably should have done it a little bit thicker, but you live and learn, hey? You live and learn. And so I am just working on the sponging and going to let that dry, and I'll come back. For you it will be instantaneous, but for me it was probably half an hour or so while I let that dry. And I also got gesso all over my fingers, so I had to go clean up my mess. And by the time I cleaned up my mess and washed the sponge out and put all the stuff away, it took me about half an hour. And then got distracted by Facebook and my partner and all of that good stuff. So I have prepped my paper, and now I am just thinking about how I want to embellish. This is going to be a pretty simple layout. I actually made this one for a challenge in the Secret Not Secret Kit Club's online crop. And the challenge was seeing double, I think it was called. So you had to use 2 of something. And so I chose 2 of a photo that was essentially exactly the same. It's, the moments are minutes apart. It's just a slightly different angle of the same photo. But I liked them both and I couldn't choose, so they're both going on. One, my partner is looking at his son, which is just adorable, but the other one, he's looking at the camera and smiling, which he doesn't do very often at all. It's very rare to get a nice photo of my partner looking at the camera, so I really needed to use both. And so I'm just backing my photo, so I used some dark navy paper, and now I'm using this lighter blue to back my photo and just matting that, just cutting it out with my scissors. I know it's not perfectly straight and I'm not measuring, but that's okay. It's going to be fine. And again, this layout came together quite quickly, I think in about half an hour it took me, and only because a little bit of the embellishing was a bit fiddly because I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do, and yes, so that was the only reason it took me so long. So I'm popping my photo up on foam dots, and I'm just committing straight away to where I want it to go. No real fiddling around with this one. I knew I wanted my title to use these chipboards from the Cocoa Vanilla Boys Rule collection. So the title says "You Are Awesome." So we're going with that, and I'm just going to stick it down straight away. Again, I'm not faffing around with this one. So I knew I wanted it sort of to be overlapping the photo slightly down the bottom. So just a couple of foam dots on the back of that and popping that up, and then the same with the R and the U. And I'm going to pop those up and have the R overlapping slightly, but the U won't be touching the photo. Oh, and I'm trying to use up all of the random bits. I think I've said this quite a few times in my video, the random bits of dimensionals adhesive that I've got lying around. I'm just trying to use up all the scraps and everything like that. So I'm cutting up the outside of these foam dots that I had finished using from Kay's Craft, and I didn't want to waste the outside parts because they're still dimensional. And I thought about using this frame, but then I realised I'd already stuck down my title, so I actually do come back and use that frame. You'll see. Well, actually, if you've looked at the thumbnail, you will already know how I use the frame, but I do come back and use the frame. And I was thinking about using that little banner piece up the top, and it would have been fine there, but I don't actually end up making a cluster there, so it would have been weird to just have that one bit of ephemera sticking out. And I'm going through, I'd already kind of pulled out some ephemera that I thought would work from the chipboard, and then the die cut ephemera pack from the Boys Rule collection. And then also I just pulled out the stickers there. They're like clear stickers. Is that what they're called? But they're clear anyway. So I pull those out as well. And then I'm thinking about making a cluster in the top left corner and the bottom right corner. And this is where I bring the frame back in. So I'm sort of going, maybe I'll kind of hang the frame off the edge and create a cluster in the top and the bottom corners, as well as a couple of clusters around the photo. And I'm just going to keep them super simple and use stars. I did want to use that little banner that says the best, because, you know, it was a pretty special moment. Yeah, so I am just creating my little clusters. That's all I'm doing. I'm just sort of putting the stars around the page where I'm thinking that they're going to go roughly, and then I'm going to come back and glue them down, and that's kind of it. I do swap out the banner piece up the top, like the background strip. And then I do replace that with some cut off frame from the bottom, just to keep it all, you know, the same but different. Going with the seeing double theme, you know, I'm using multiple stars. I've put the frames in multiple places, and I'm using tiny word stickers, you know. Lots of things I've used multiples of. Well, actually that's it, because that's all on my layout. Stars, the frame, the title, some tiny word stickers, and 2 additional ephemera pieces that have words on them, and that's it. That's literally it. This is a very simple layout, and of course I splattered because, I mean, who am I? And I always splatter. And so yeah, I use gold and silver. I'm loving the silver splatter that I bought. Loving it. So when it runs out, I will definitely be getting more, because I don't know what it is. I just find that the silver goes really well with a lot of the boy collections, probably because the more male themed collections have a lot of grey in them. So, you know, that leans itself well to silver. So yeah, I'm just rambling because it's early in the morning. Well, it's 8 a.m, but that's early. I've been up since 6. And my bubba has just gone back down for his first nap. So I am taking advantage of that quiet time by doing this voiceover. And then hopefully I'll get to do some more scrapping today, because it is Sunday here when I'm filming this. Well, not when I'm filming it. I filmed it yesterday on a Saturday. But when I'm doing my voiceover, it's a Sunday, and I should have a bit of time to scrap, which will be fun. So hopefully there's as I said, the Secret Not Secret Kit Club has their online crop today or this weekend, and I'm filming this in May. I don't actually think this is going to go up until July. That's how far in advance my sister and I are currently working for our channel, which is pretty cool. Except for our DT videos for the Confessions of a Paper Addict cut file shop, we are quite a ways ahead in our regular layouts, which is good because life happens and it will make up for the times when things happen, children get sick, you know, you're just really busy and you don't get a chance to film anything. We've got a bit of a backup already there. So you can see here I'm just repeating that frame motif at the top with the cut off or the leftover frame that I cut from the bottom, and I'm really happy with how it kind of turns out. And then I actually end up including that last little bit of frame on the layout too, because I thought that I should bring it in a third place, because I know the challenge was seeing double, but I did think a third place probably made sense, so I do end up putting it back down. So you can see here, I've done my bottom cluster and I'm just working on my top cluster now. I'd stuck down all the other stars while I was rambling, because that's what I do, I ramble. Exciting news in my camp. I mean, this will be old news by the time you see this video, but Lincoln rolled for the first time the other day. He's only done it once, and he was 3.5 months oldish. And I think he scared the bejesus out of himself because he screamed when he rolled. And he's not done it since. He hates tummy time, hates it. So I don't know how quickly he will roll again, but at least I know he's done it once. He's loving talking to himself at the moment. He just babbles away while he's playing under his play mat, play gym, whatever you call them. He just talks away to himself and he's super happy and very smiley. And he's just a beautiful boy and it's very cute. There we go. I digress, talking about my son. Talk about your children, can't you, for hours. I'll tell you about the layout now. I'm sticking down the stars from the sticker sheet, the clear stickers. So I'm just pulling out some stars. So I'm making kind of 3 stars in each of the clusters that I created. I have way more than 3 clusters on this layout, but it's okay. I feel like it works because there's stars around the title and the photo. So I kind of feel like it works. We're going with that anyway. Okay, we're going with that. And here is where I decide to add just that frame, the last bit of the little frame that I use in the top and bottom corner that I'm going to just tuck into the top left corner of the photo. Just to bring it into a 3rd spot. And I do like that. I'm glad I did it, obviously. But I do think it kind of, it brings something else. It brings that wood grain into a 3rd place on the layout, even though one of the stars is wood grain. So I guess it's in 4 places. Anyway, doesn't matter. And now this is when I decide to use some tiny word stickers, which I haven't done for a while. And these ones are clear as well, so they're actually quite subtle. Unless you're sort of looking closely at the layout, you don't really see them. And I think that's actually quite good. It's a bit different. I've not sort of used the clear sticker, tiny word sort of stickers before. So I'm really happy with how they look and I'm looking forward to using those up. So yeah, that's it. That's the last part before I do the splatters. And as I said, I used navy and silver this time around. And yeah, I'm really liking it. The navy, and I've said this a million times, the navy Heidi Swapp Colour Shine is my favourite Heidi Swapp Colour Shine mist that I have used. And I haven't used them all, but of the ones that I own and have used, the navy is by far my favourite. Over the gold, even though I probably use the gold more. The navy, I just really like it. It's a really nice sort of shade of navy and it's got really nice sparkle to it. It's beautiful. And I have bought a Kaiser Craft navy for when this one runs out because I can't tell how much I have left. It feels like a lot. I've got way more of the navy left than I do of the gold, but I do use it a lot. So yes, I'm very much loving the navy splatter. Very much so. So there I go with the navy and then this is the silver. And as I said in a previous video, and I've said it in every video, it's the Marabou Art Spray and it's actually an acrylic paint based mist or spray. So it smells very strongly of acrylic paint, which goes away as soon as it's dry. But it does smell. You can go, oh yeah, that's paint as you're sprinkling it on. But I think it looks great. And that's it. That is the layout done. I'm just cleaning up. You can't see it because it's off the screen, but I did some massive splatters because I shook up the Colour Shine upside down. It dropped some big drops sort of around my layout. Thankfully not anywhere bad. But yeah, here it is. Hope you liked it. We'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you're having a great day.